Hi, this is Hito from hitostar.com. Today I'm going to be speaking about Taurus new moon on April 26. So this month in April, we have 4 planets going forward and retrograding. So there's a lot of things happening. The first thing is on April 15th, Venus went direct. So this is a big news I've been talking about in the last few videos. So we were learning about love and relationships and regarding to finance since March 4th. So Venus went forward is a good news, and this time it was interesting because the Venus was conjunctioning, meaning coming together with this asteroid called Chiron. So we all experienced looking into the old relationships and love or finance, and there was this healing that was happening from that because of the asteroid Chiron. So you might have had some moments that you finally understood about some relationship in the past, or even relationships with your family, your loved ones, now that you kind of took this moment to learn more about it, and the relationship got stronger since April 16 forward. So there were some few certain dates that this energy was highlighted. So first one was April 7th. If you think back about what happened on April 7th, a lot of people experienced some challenges or are facing the reality in relationships or regarding your self-value, so self-love. So if you can think about what happened that day, you might have some ideas what the learning was for you. A lot of people around me experienced health issue around that time. So that's regarding to self-love as well. Are you taking enough time to care about yourself? And that's also happening on April 22nd. So that's another day that, if I explain a little more, it's Venus squaring Saturn. So there's this intense energy that you are facing some kind of reality. So if you can realize what's happening, that's great for you to focus on the topic and try to make it in a better, to have a better solution about it. On April 20th, we had Pluto Retrograde. So Pluto is the heaviest planet in astrology, and of course when this planet goes retrograde, we feel the heavy energy. So around this time, you might experience some physical challenges, and also mentally, spiritually, you might felt some kind of emotion that Pluto is basically a oppressed feeling. So you might feel this heaviness, and Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. So basically Pluto is pressing you down to realize what's really me, what's really happening, and transform into something new. So it feels a little hard at the moment, but the great thing about Pluto is it always gives you some kind of gift later on. So if you can realize that, you might felt that heaviness around that time, but later on you have some kind of gift that could be surprises, that could be some good news that was coming to you. So when I talk about the transformation with Pluto, there is a good way to look into your chart. If you are familiar with your natal chart, if you can look into where Jupiter falls into in your natal chart, where the Jupiter is in the transit right now, meaning which house it is in, That's how you can find where your transformation is happening. So look into the house where the Jupiter and also the Pluto falls into. That's where those are the two areas you can look into to focus right now. So if I explain a little more about retrograde, when a bigger planet like Pluto or Saturn, when that goes retrograde, the day of the retrograde happens, that's when you really feel it. That's when the energy is highlighted. So, since the planets are big, once it's retrograding, you don't feel this energy as much. Especially compared to a smaller planet like Mercury. Mercury's retrograde is the most well-known one because Mercury is a smaller planet that you feel in daily life. It rules our communications, rules our conversations, things to do with phones, computers. So this is why you feel the Mercury retrograde throughout the few weeks when it's retrograding, but other planets like big Pluto or other Jupiter, you don't feel it as much once it's passed because it's a bigger planet that's a different kind of feel. So you don't have to worry about it as much. It goes retrograde until September 2017. So just giving you some ideas about that. So another thing that's happening this month is Mars is going into Gemini and the Mercury is retrograding and it goes back to the sign of Aries. So here's an interesting thing happening because Aries, Mars is the ruler of Aries and Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So these two signs and the planets are basically crossing each other. So this is called mutual reception in astrology. You might be a beginner of astrology, so you don't have to understand everything, but since this is happening, this energy is highlighted here. So what's going to happen is this is happening with Mars and Mercury. So think about fire and air. Fire and air, when it's combined, it's basically a lot of things happening in the air. So that's happening in communication and actions. So from around the 21st, you might find things are going faster than you think, and especially in communication. And having enough information before you take action can help you a lot. So another thing at this new moon in Taurus is on April 28th, Mercury conjunct with Uranus. So this is a great energy because Uranus gives you sudden surprises, sudden ideas, understanding and breakthrough. So that's happening with Mercury, meaning if you have a meeting or if you have some kind of conversation around the 28th, it could be happening even from the 26th when the new moon is happening. This is a great time to have some kind of innovative ideas. If you are talking to someone, or even if you're talking to yourself in your head, you might come to this idea, oh wow, this is great. Why did I not think that before? Or if you're talking to someone, someone might tell you, why don't you do something like this? That might basically help you thinking out of the box. So please do use this time to have some kind of innovative conversations. So at this new moon in Taurus, the great thing to do is to go into the nature, especially feeling the earth, because Taurus is an earth sign, and around this time when the sun is in Taurus, we are enjoying the energy of nature, these trees and flowers and the earth. So doing something like gardening or picnic. In Japan, where I grew up, we go see cherry blossoms around this time. So that's a great way to feel the earth. So feeling the earth and taking in this healing energy is a great thing to do. Taurus is the sign of beauty and art and nature. So please do use this time to appreciate the nature and becoming one, because this is a great thing around this new moon. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. This is Hito from hitostar.com. If you like this video, please do comment below, or you can ask me some questions. What is natal chart? What are the signs? What are these planets mean? I would love to answer those questions. And I have my Instagram. I've been updating my information from the sky. So if you can connect with me with that, that'd be great. And I do my sessions here in New York City. So if you would like to have a session, one-on-one or on Skype, that would be great. And happy Taurus new moon.